This year is coming to an end, and we decided to wrap up our first season with a casual review of some of our favorite shows of the year, ranging from American to British shows, and then to more international ones like Korean, Turkish, Spanish. But Rumi wouldn't let us live if we skipped over anime, of course, so of course we're doing that as well. Grab your teacups. You're listening to Chai Station with Gul, Rumi, and Kazel, and today's episode is 2021 TV Top Hits. So, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Very well. This fine season finale. So today's episode is very interesting, I think, because first of all, it didn't require much research as such because everybody's been watching shows for the past year, and knowing that we have very different tastes when it comes to TV shows and movies and art in general, I think we have a nice mix of shows that we can talk about. Shows that maybe I haven't watched and one of you guys have watched. So I think it would be a good idea to start off with the Western series first, and then slowly move on to the Turkish ones and the Korean and Spanish ones in the more international category. And then maybe, because, Rumi, you're giving us the death stare, we can talk about anime. Well,
yes.
More correctly,
She will
Rumi
talk
can
about
talk about
anime.
Yes, animation, anime, everything.
Yes,
in
we
that
will
stuff.
just obediently nod our heads.
Mhm.
Okay, so when it comes to Western shows, me personally, I love obviously watching shows over movies because there is this continuity that you can't find in movies, right? Which you can find in shows. But what are some of yours, Kazel? What are some of your favorite Western shows that you can remember right off the bat that you watched this year and you liked?
Well, I guess I would have to say Bridgerton. That was
Yes.
one that I think caught a lot of people's, attention. It's like a bit of a historical type of show, but with a modern twist. And I think that makes it unique because we're still getting the historical costumes and even the way they're talking and their manners and etiquettes. They're all like, from years back. I don't know what exactly year.
18th
It was
century, I believe.
18th. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
18th
so.
century.
Yeah, based on the dresses, I think so. Yeah, so we're getting like that. And then even some of the songs in the show were like modern songs, but they just had
Yeah.
like the instrumental playing. So that was interesting and unique. And I think the show also has like quite a bit of diversity considering, today's time.
I mean, the
Um,
protagonist, the main guy, is not a white guy, which is
yeah.
so great to see.
Yeah, and it's also like a story, basically a show based off of books.
Yeah.
So each season is kind of based on one character. So yeah, well, the first season came out and it was pretty good for me.
Yeah.
I
And I
enjoyed it.
believe the second season is coming out next year.
I think so. Yes.
I think along with The Witcher. So Bridgerton, Witcher, those were two big ones this
Yeah.
year. And they're going to be coming out for season 2 next coming year. There's also, I believe, Downton Abbey that we can talk about in the same time frame
Yeah,
almost.
when you think about
Yeah.
history and stuff, yeah. I recently just finished Downton Abbey, even though it finished like some time ago, I think back in 2015 or so. But oh my God, it was such a beautiful show to watch. Do you remember back in school you'd read those books like Pride and Prejudice? There was
Jane
some of them,
Austen.
Jane Austen and stuff, and I wouldn't be
Well, I watched
interested
the
in
movies,
this.
so
I wouldn't be interested in reading them. It was not my forte, but this was mild. It was very nicely blended, and I knew it was Gul's. When I was watching it, I knew it was Gul's forte. Like I just reached here, I was like, I know this is the show she watched.
Yeah, love
Um,
I
it.
actually haven't watched it yet. It's on my list.
yeah,
So,
which is why I wanted to
yeah.
push for like this other anime, but Go just would not watch it. So I was like, okay, fine.
You know what?
I was pushing
Kazel,
Violet Evergarden, but this girl just will not
yeah, I
see it.
watched the trailer, so that's a big thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing with Downton Abbey as well is that just as Kazel mentioned, music for Bridgerton, Downton Abbey's instrumentals are absolutely
Beautiful,
gorgeous.
beautiful
They will just put
instrumentals.
you in a mood, and
Mm-hmm.
then you will not come out of that mood till, I don't know, September next year. Um, yeah, but I've been also becoming very fond of some modern shows like Goliath. Uh, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Billy Bob Thornton, the guy who won the Oscar for his best acting in the show, actually.
I
Okay,
don't watch
well,
the Oscars,
Well,
but enlighten us.
you
I'm
guys are
not
missing
sure.
out. But you know, the thing with Goliath, it's a show based on law and society and how this one lawyer who's fallen from grace basically uh builds his own little law firm from a motel room. It's a very kind of like a humble restart, but he also struggles with his own alcohol issues, a bad family life, if you may. Um, but it's absolutely amazing how, because the show's title is Goliath, how he faces these giant corporations as a small time lawyer and actually wins cases, and fights cases that are practically impossible to win. So
Is it like a fast-paced show? Because I like fast-paced
quite
ones.
so, yeah. Quite so. And there's been 4 seasons so far.
Okay.
Honestly wasn't really fond of the last season because the first season started off so great. They couldn't keep up with the amazingness, basically.
Yeah, that does
um,
happen with a lot of
yeah.
shows.
What about Riverdale? Have you guys watched Riverdale?
Oh my God, Riverdale. It's that show that just exists, right? You don't know why you're watching it, but you will watch it because, well, for me, it's like, it's insane. Every single time I watch it, especially the recent season, like the recent episodes. I don't know if you guys are keeping up with it or not.
No. I started watching it, but then I stopped because I just couldn't understand it anymore,
I think you
honestly.
stopped right before it became like bizarre.
Right.
Yeah, it
So
started becoming so weird.
I didn't understand, but they finally like put pieces together where they kind of somehow brought
Mm.
it back on track. It was becoming weird. I thought they were like it's like episodes that were supposed to be releasing in Halloween or releasing now. It's that show
Ooh,
that you're like it makes no sense.
but it
Everybody
makes
is
sense.
dying, but you want to know what happens.
It's like Pretty
You're
Little
right.
Liars,
Yes, I somehow finished that
right?
show. I don't even know how I
Yeah.
did that, but I somehow finished it and I was like, finally, I'm done with this craze. I can finally say I've watched the show that people have been dying about.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it's very popular amongst high school students for some reason because
Mm-hmm.
obviously I think it's based in a high school, right? It is, yeah.
It is.
You know what I
Yeah.
think about but in Riverdale though? You know what so there's the other show, remember the one that released The Adventures of Sabrina the Witch one?
Mhm. Yeah.
They're supposedly in the same universe, right? But
Okay.
they said that they would never interact. Like both Riverdale and Greendale would never interact.
Ooh.
So I don't know if this was the purpose of this season happening because they created an alternate Riverdale called Rivervale,
Ooh.
and it's not a spoiler because the
That's new.
episodes are out. So they called it Rivervale. A bunch of stuff happened, and in the middle, Sabrina comes in from Greenvale, not Greendale. She comes from Greenvale, and we see
Wow.
Sabrina. So the crossover happened over there, and then like a bunch of stuff happened, and they had to reset the universe because two universes were colliding. I don't know. They brought physics into this, so and then they somehow fixed everything, and it was a ride. I'm still interested. It's a show I like
I
and hate.
watched Riverdale, the very first few episodes. I was very intrigued by the red-haired girl's performance.
Cheryl,
Yes, Cheryl.
the one that's very like preppy and very
Yes, yeah.
posh.
Her performance
It's
is
very nice.
absolutely amazing.
I think her name is Madeline.
Right. And I've never seen her in any other show or movie.
I think that's where she popped up first in, but
Yeah.
people really liked her performance.
Oh yeah, there was, I would say, like the red-haired girl and the one with the hat. So I think his name was Cole Sprouse. They were two characters that were intriguing to me from the
Mm.
start. But yeah,
Right.
moving on to another show that I was like, um, basically it was creating a hype. Was Shadow and Bone, and this is also based on a book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, was it on Netflix? This was on Netflix, right?
It
I think.
it is on Netflix.
Yeah, I would say this was unique as well. Like definitely has a bit of like fantasy, um, good versus bad type of story. Um,
And kind of like an alternate
a lot of,
universe.
yeah, like good
Magic. I believe
CGI,
there's
I would
magic
say.
involved. Yeah.
Magic,
Definitely a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
magic involved, and I think a lot of the press that came for the show was also the guy that's in it, Ben Barnes. He
Mm-hmm.
was
Right.
in Chronicles of Narnia. He was like that
Ooh.
cute guy. So
Oh,
people, whoever
okay,
were a fan
okay.
of
I don't
like
remember him in the show.
whoever was a fan of Ben in Chronicles of Narnia were swooning over him in
Right.
Shadow and Bone, and
I mean, yeah, the
understandable.
man is good looking, so I
Mm-hmm.
guess.
It's very understandable, but it's a good show. It
Yeah.
definitely was a good show.
Let's bring together two shows that I've been thinking about: Modern Family and This Is Us. Can you draw any comparisons between those two?
Both of them are just families. Other than that, Modern Family, oh my god, if you haven't watched it, bro, it's hilarious. I underestimated just how attached I would grow to the
That's not my
characters,
genre, but okay.
Hmm.
but the main thing I ran towards like Modern Family, like I dropped it, then I came back to it was because of Sofia Vergara.
Hmm.
She is amazing, talk
Mm-hmm.
shows and whatever. That girl has
Right, right,
her own
yeah.
sense of style and comedy. And I basically almost binge watched the show for her, but it was a show that I definitely recommend. It's something that's chill and all the characters are lovable. By the end of it, you will really, really miss the characters. But other than that,
Yeah.
This Is Us is very serious. It's very touchy. It's
Which
very,
is more like up my alley. Like I
yeah,
like
a lot of
serious
crying.
shows, depressing shows. Yeah. This Is Us is a show that I came upon like a few years ago, and I would say 2020 they had their fifth season, and I think next year, so early January, they're having their sixth season, which is the last season. Um, I don't know, this show is definitely up my alley. It's depressing, sad, makes you want to cry, but at the same time, the dynamics between the characters, their family, dynamics are just so beautiful. And the way they've just connected the present, the past, and even the future, they have like future scenes as well. They've done it really, really well. I mean,
Hmm.
they've won awards, so for sure that show is worth a
I
watch.
heard
If
people comparing it to Tree. Was it called Treehouse?
Treehouse is a cartoon show,
No,
Cartoon
no, it was
Network.
called something Tree. Uh, okay,
not
forget it.
sure.
Forget it. But it was something like that, Tree something, and it was a very old show. Anyways, let's move on to Kazel's favorite Turkish shows. If we let
Yes.
Kazel talk, by the way, let's make it clear to our audience. She will go on and on and on. So here's me keeping a timer, and we're gonna make sure she doesn't go on and on. So there we go. First one.
Okay,
What do you
I'll be
think?
quick,
First one.
guys. But yeah, the first one on my list is definitely Yargi.
Hmm.
Um, it's basically a show based on law, um, and a bit of murder, mystery. So it has like a few different genres all like bunched
That's
together.
mostly Turkish shows, right? A lot of genres bunched together.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
But the main leads in the show actually did another show together, and that was a hit show as well. It's called Ashk 101, if
Hmm.
anyone watched it. They've done two seasons of that show together, so their chemistry is just fire. So yeah, yeah. I mean, it's definitely wow,
I
and
didn't expect
not
that.
not just the leads. Okay, I would say like the other characters as well. They're all are just so good at their role. But yeah, if anyone likes murder, mystery, some lawyer-ish type of thing, that is a great show I would
How many
recommend.
episodes have been aired thus far?
How many episodes? That's a good question. I
I
think,
I would watch, like, that is my genre, like any killing, law stuff. Like I would usually go, like I'm currently binge watching Blacklist, but it's so long. Turkish shows are so
I know
long.
they
one
are definitely
episode is a
longer.
movie,
Literally
Yeah,
a
two
movie,
plus
2 hours. In case
which is a
people
good
You
thing
don't
would
and a
need to
know.
bad thing.
dedicate yourself to this.
Right.
Also, asking back, they're releasing the 14th episode this Sunday.
Okay,
My God, and
right,
it will
right.
go
So
on
yeah.
till like what, the 70th episode? Do you know how many hours that is? That's like 140 hours.
Well, truthfully, nowadays Turkish shows don't go that long.
Really?
It's all based on the rating.
Right,
Oh.
Some
true.
shows do, some
Some
shows
shows
don't.
finish at the
This
fifth
one
episode.
has a great rating, so maybe
Right.
it might be long.
You know what? You
But
know one show that I'm really hoping would have good ratings is Aziz that just started,
yeah,
and
yes.
it's a an adaptation of BBC's Poldark,
Hmm.
and it's gorgeous. First of all, not just because of its actors, because the actors are mature actors and they know their art,
Yeah.
uh, but also because of the storyline and how it was adapted. So Poldark, as we all know, it was based in Cornwall, some I
Hmm.
believe Scottish or Irish
I
in
think it is
origin.
one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so Aziz is based in a uh, pre
Turkish.
pre
Yeah.
Ataturk. Ataturk was a political leader of Turkey, right?
Hmm.
Before the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing
Yeah.
happened, and they were under French rule. So
Yeah.
it's a very nice historical set, and they've very nicely changed the story around a little bit just to make it fit in the context of Muslim Turkish, um, you know, values. And
Hmm.
of course, the costumes are amazing as always with
I
Turkish
love the
shows.
costumes.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
gorgeous.
And I
And
love like the historical costumes, and they've done a great job with them.
beautiful job. And
Yeah.
the other thing is that if you've watched Ramo, Ramo's
Hmm.
main lead is the same lead for Aziz, and in Ramo you'll see him at kind of an opposite role where he's a good guy, but he's kind of like the Robin Hood of the hood, basically, the actual hood. But in this show, he's also the Robin Hood, kind of, but
Kind of. Yeah.
he's more of a positive role and a more historically elevated role. So those two shows, Ramo and Aziz, great stuff, I think. Uh, I also want to talk about another adaptation while I'm at it. It's called menejerim, and it's based
Hmm.
on the French show called dixpourcent, and it follows the life of a fresh young girl who gets into the agent business for actors and actresses. And it's very nice because you get to see the behind the scenes of how shows are made, how movies are made in real life.
Yeah. I thought that
And
was really cool.
very
Like how
cool.
they actually choose like shows, how much
Yeah,
like the actors actually take part in that, what do they not take part in,
exactly. And
like
even the
all the entire
politics.
world.
Yeah, the politics
Yeah.
behind the scenes. And because this is not easily accessible to the general public who watch shows, but you kind of get a gist of how everything is done and how
Yeah.
everything is not so easy as it seems. Man, it's very difficult creating,
There are a lot of like
producing.
nice camos
Yeah,
in the show as well. So like
exactly.
yeah, like other Turkish actors as well,
Yeah,
actresses.
yeah. But I think you mentioned, Kazel, you mentioned, I believe it was alev.
Yeah, I love, I love. It was also a French adaptation of,
Yeah,
you might be able to say better.
it was, I think it was called Le Bazar de la Charité, the
Yeah,
Bazaar of Charity, basically.
yes. It's based on like I would say it's more like woman empowerment type of
Mm-hmm.
show.
Yeah.
Um like there's definitely some women abuse, and it also shows like the high class versus low class.
Mm-hmm.
There's also that. I thought it was a really, really good show
Yeah, and
in
there was
general.
also a little psychopath in there. Remember the guy who
Yeah,
thinks he,
if you guys enjoy a
yeah,
little bit of psycho
yeah, man, he is a
characters,
psycho. Not gonna lie, that just
yeah,
scares the shit out
that
of me.
man was insane
Yeah,
actually.
and speaking of psychos, actually, there's the show on serial killers. Now you know how
Oh,
diverse Turkish shows are. um,
yeah. I don't
the
know what we talked about one genre to another.
the show is called Uç Kuruş, and it just started airing. I think it's been 7 episodes so far, and it's about these two boys who kind of had a very nice childhood friendship. One of them becomes a gang leader of a kind of, again, also like Robin Hood, taking from the rich, giving it to the poor, kind of. But the other brother, not brother, well, brother technically, but the friend, he actually becomes a serial killer,
Mm.
and he is avenging the death of his mother one by one. And he's even leaving traces for the police and saying, haha, you can't catch me. But it's like very, very disturbing. But at the same time,
Hmm.
guys, if you see the serial killers acting, you're going to be like, I would be scared of this guy in real life. I'd be very scared of this guy. Uh, so stellar acting in
Yeah,
that
I
one
would
as
say
well.
Yargi has a character like that too.
Yeah?
He'd be like, he's more of a psychopath,
Mm-hmm.
but you're gonna be like, I don't want to mess with this guy.
No, I don't want to meet him. I'm not a fan. Nah, never gonna
Yeah,
take a selfie with you. Nope, no sir, not taking
nope.
the risk.
I'll just take 20 steps away from you.
But those type of actors in real life are actually really sweet, as
True.
opposed
They
I
to like
mean,
the
are.
sweet
He did an
movie.
interview, and the poor guy was saying, I'm not the villain of in real life, I am just in the show. Poor guy.
Yeah,
for
But
real.
unfortunately,
that
people
does happen.
people can't really sometimes figure
Yeah.
out the difference, right?
It's the
Like,
same. It's the
Differentiate
same with
between
me.
them.
How when I see an actor, playing a good role, and then I see him playing a bad role in another show, I'm like, why? How could you, man? How could you? You cannot do this.
Yeah, for me too, it's hard, but in Yagi, the main lead actually played a really bad role a few years ago. And now he's like playing this good guy.
Hmm.
And it was hard, but truthfully, like he changed my mind about him. So I'm like, you did a great job. You're a great actor.
oh my
Because it takes
God.
a lot to like change
Yeah.
my mind about going from bad to good or good to bad.
Especially when you're
But
invested in
yeah,
a story.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So.
I mean, the last show that I would talk about is kind of another law show.
Mhm.
It's called evlilik, hakkında, Hershey or something like that. Um, but it's
Yeah, we're
it's
not
also
Turks,
like a
guys.
law
Sorry.
show. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, it's another great show. The actors are older, so there's a lot. It's like mature acting, and I feel like that's what I'm really, really enjoying. And it's based on like divorce. They're basically divorce lawyers.
Mhm.
Um, and I also like that every few episodes there's like a new divorce case, so you're seeing new characters and new cases. So it's not just one. There's definitely one story that's like the backbone, but there are other stories in that, if that
Right.
makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
stories
that
within
was another show.
stories. And are the
Yeah,
episodes like chronologically linked, or like are they different stories every episode?
not every episode. So like
Okay.
maybe there are like 3 or 4 episodes that are one story, and then they move on to another
Right.
one. But
Right.
the main characters have their own individual story as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's an interesting show.
Makes sense. Right. So I think we've given quite some time to Turkish shows. And as much as we love them, we have to move on. Uh, what do you guys think about other international shows like Korean or Spanish? Rumi, would you like to lead that for us?
Korean shows I've been watching for several years now. I actually came upon them when I was trying to look at more animes, but then I went to anime adaptations. But
Hmm.
Japanese acting is a little questionable. And then I found Korean adaptations and I discovered a universe.
Wow.
Really, I was like, oh my God. And then I messaged Keizo. I was like, I found something. You have to watch it. And then she fell down the rabbit hole too. It was great. Great experience.
Yeah, she put me on a rabbit hole.
We started with Boys Over Flowers and then that's it. We're gone.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, we've definitely matured our
I
taste.
mean, now if we watch Boys Over Flowers, we're like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing.
I mean, I still love the actor. He's
Even
definitely
just the
done great
name,
The
roles.
man.
main,
Boys over flowers, like Korea.
the main actor, gorgeous.
Gorgeous. And his roles are more mature too now. So,
Hmm.
yeah. Like one of the shows called King, The King. A great show. Fantasy. Yeah, his recent show. But yeah.
But the ones that were famous this year, actually, just the
Hmm.
way Parasite became famous a couple
Oh
of years
yeah.
back, Squid
But that
Game,
was like a movie.
yeah, it was a
So, yeah.
movie, but it went all the way to the
Hmm.
Oscars. It just took the world by
Yeah.
storm. Squid Game also took the world by storm. I mean, the way they released a genius in so many languages all at the same time, they literally made the entire world come together in a single moment. And it was a genius
That's
move.
a great strategy
Yeah,
to truthfully
genius
go
move
by.
because everyone was
Yeah.
able to, and because there was like challenges and stuff involved, everyone felt like they wanted to try it out, which was surprising because when I first saw it, before it was being hyped, I saw it on Netflix and I watched it. I watched the entire show because it was Korean and I was like, the theme is has like an anime theme, like storyline. I was like, it's up my alley. I'll just watch it. Because I watched it before the hype, I wasn't like, oh my god, blown away by it. If anything, the most shocking moment was when the guy from Goblin popped up and my heart was like, oh my god.
Yes, that was. I thought he was gonna be in the
I know,
show,
and
but then I was kind of sad
it was
he
like a
wasn't.
cameo. He popped up for like 5 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, this is so
Yeah,
sad." I was looking for him for the entire movie, for the entire show. I was like, "Is he here? Is he one of them? Is he one of them?" And he came only at the very end. So, without
yeah.
the hype, is it mind blowing? Is it amazing? No. Is it a good show? Yes. Should you watch it? Probably. Do you have to watch it? Not really.
Is it
Okay.
the same as I mean, in terms of hype, Money Heist was big,
Money
and
Heist,
then,
though.
but is it worth watching? Is the
Yes.
hype?
Yes. Money Heist has a lot of planning. It has a lot of story. There's like patriotic passion. There's stealing, of course, but it's like there's like the background, like battle music, and
The
there's steal.
rebelliousness about it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're stealing, but it feels good to see them steal because they're stealing from people who can
Wow.
afford to lose the money, like banks
So
and
maybe you
stuff.
Again,
find that
Robin Hood,
interesting.
yeah.
But the thing is, like, they're not giving it back to the poor. They're keeping it for themselves.
Right.
So,
Okay, selfish Robin Hood.
yeah, selfish Robin Hood, right? But you don't feel bad. You're like, yeah, whatever, keep it because the amount of work and planning and blueprint and the way the
It's
guy,
worth it.
yeah, it was worth seeing it. So it's kind of similar to I don't know if you recently saw that movie Army of Thieves. It actually came
No.
after. It's a movie that was released after the Army of the Dead or something, but Army of the Dead was kind of garbage. But Army of
Mm.
Thieves, definitely recommend. It's a movie. But it was very similar, like it's stealing. There's a
Right.
thrill in it. Definitely do watch Money Heist for that reason. So it is a Spanish show. Please watch it in Spanish, not in English dubbed.
Yeah, I feel like watching the shows in the actual language
Yes.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
better.
Yeah, just like
But for me,
Turkish.
like Squid Game, oh sorry. For me, like Squid Game was, I watched it actually after the hype. So, and it's actually not really my genre, but I watched it because, you know, it was a hype show and it was Korean. So I was like, let me try it. And for me, after I watched it, I was like, okay, it's all right. I didn't feel like wow. Like for me, the story wasn't wow, but I thought the characters and the acting was great. So I would put it in, put in that sense where I thought the
Hmm.
characters and the acting was great, but the story was something that I'm like, I feel like I could have seen this somewhere else. Like it's
Right.
something that I've heard of before. But I think like for Korea, this is an unknown story as well.
And can
So
we mention also
it
like the
kind of makes
diversity
sense.
of the people who are in it? Because
Yeah.
I saw a couple like, you know, uh,
He's an Indian
he
guy.
was
Yeah.
Indian and people's heart went out to him like when he actually died. They were like, and the guy's fine.
Spoiler,
The
spoiler.
guy is totally fine on social media. He goes like, I'm gonna make this. You want to see this? It's like he's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But when he did leave the stage, but there was a good amount of diversity and everything. So,
Hmm.
budget
Yeah.
wise, execution of whatever they're planning to do, great. It's
Yeah.
not an oh my god plot line like Hazel said, but good execution. regardless. Like
Yeah.
for a game show, it was pretty darn good.
Yeah. What other shows did you like that were Korean?
Ooh, Vincenzo.
Yeah.
I've been after
She's been on
Kazel.
to
I've
me
been
to
after
watch.
Kazel because
Yeah,
we know the actor, the main actor,
we
Sung
do.
Joong Ki, and he's done very nice shows. But this one I enjoyed because the last couple, I think the last time he shone like this was probably in Descendants of the Sun, and then when he came back, this I was enjoying every single moment of it. Concierge, like lawyer for crime. He's a mafia lawyer. He comes in and he actually is looking for gold, but he ends up helping people and
Oh.
doing stuff. And it's just comedy and the
You
chemistry he
just
has
said
with them.
lawyer, and I'm hooked.
You're hooked? Yes,
'Cause,
please
Yeah,
watch.
anything with lawyer. But I mean, I watched the first episode and it was filmed really, really nicely. It was wow.
Hmm. And where do you guys watch your Korean shows, by the way?
On just Korean websites.
Yeah, clearly they pirate their shows.
Very,
Totally.
Yeah.
very legal websites. And Netflix.
But we need English subs, and not all of them are on
Yeah,
Netflix.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
but Vincenzo is on Netflix, so
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
that's your legal
I guess
platform.
another one that I would talk about is Mouse. That was, I mean, I clearly
That's
have
Korean?
Mhm.
yeah, it's a Korean show. I clearly have like a type of show that I like. Lawyers, mature, mystery killer type of shows. This one's also kind of that. There's definitely like a psychopath. It's about a psychopath gene, if you guys know what that is.
A
Like, have you guys
psychopath
heard of it?
gene?
Yeah, the gene
Yeah.
that determines whether you have the tendency
Right.
to kill or not.
Yes,
Or
yes.
not
Yeah.
kill, become a psychopath or not.
Yeah. Well, basically, yeah, you're gonna kill people if you're a psychopath. So
Yeah, the whole
there's like,
abnormal psychology business.
yeah, there's like a whole factor in that plays based on this gene situation. But yes, it's also an intriguing show. It's kind of like, who is the killer? Was it him? Was it not him? I don't know. Like it's a little like plays with your mind. So it's an
Mm-hmm.
interesting show. And I guess like the last show that I would talk about, it's called One Ordinary Day. And
Oh yeah.
Rumi's favorite actor is in it. Um,
Kim So
yeah,
Hyun. Yeah.
yes, him. So you haven't watched it, but I
I
would
do.
recommend
I
it to
absolutely
you.
need
It
to watch
might make
it.
you sad and cry, and he cries a lot, so it might make you sad, basically. But it's also a lawyer,
I
a
would hate to see
lawyer
him cry, but I have
based
to.
show. Yeah, lawyer killing. I definitely have a preference, guys. Yeah, but it's a very intriguing
You're
show.
not scaring me at
Also,
all, Kazel. Not
Yeah,
at
this
all.
is
I
like
know,
the
because you
show I
have to
would go
watch it.
to.
I'm gonna give away everything if I just say one tiny thing.
Yeah, definitely
I
don't.
guess the show, it's also like, is he the killer, the main guy, the killer, or not?
I'm sorry, what?
That's kind of what it is. I think
My
it's in
ma-
the plot. Your man. She said her
Your
man.
man.
He could be a killer? What do you mean?
Go find
Wait.
her husband.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, intriguing show.
Maybe it was a mistake, Rumi. It's okay. Maybe he killed by mistake.
Yeah.
You always
I
have to
didn't
give them a
spoil. I don't
chance,
think I
Rumi. You
spoiled
can't
anything,
judge
okay?
just like
'Cause
that. Come on.
yeah,
You must stay loyal.
But it's been years.
you
I
must.
feel like he's capable of crossing that threshold.
I would say it's one of his best acting though, so it's
Because
worth a
he
shot.
has like a default innocent face, and he can
Yeah.
if he kills, no one would
Yeah.
suspect him.
That would be great acting because if you have, like you said, a default innocent face, it's very difficult to pull off
He has that
a
puppy face, you know, like a
villainous
deer puppy
role.
face. You just look at
Yeah.
him and you're like, there is no way this pouty boy
Yeah.
would go do
And
that
that's
murder.
usually how killers are, bro. They look
Yeah.
very innocent.
No, truthfully though, if we ever do a crime episode or something, a lot of
Yeah.
these killers, serial killers, apparently they're good looking. They're not really,
You
but
know
apparently
what?
they are.
Maybe we should start off 2022 like that. A
Serial
good place to
killers.
start.
Serial killers and
Maybe.
psychopaths.
And Omicron.
Ugh.
It goes very well together. Anyways, shall we move on
But
to
yeah.
your favorite category, Rumi?
Yes.
Animation.
And that is anime. I will go and just sleep in my bed while you talk.
No, no, no. You all must stay for this because
Yes.
we'll start off with first I will start off by saying, because we were doing shows, even though I'm not a great fan of like Japanese acting, I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the director's fault. I don't know. But Alice in Borderland, even though it was released in 2020, I thought the next season was going to release, and it's also like a game show type. And I enjoyed that actually more than I enjoyed Squid Game. So I don't know why that one didn't pick up, maybe because it was Japanese, but I'm looking forward to that one. Aside from that, animation wise, English animation, League of Legends Arcane was created from the famous game by Riot Games called League of Legends. And
Yeah, which is always popping up in my ads. Yeah.
Yeah,
yes, and
me too.
honestly,
So we know that.
uh,
We know something.
and I don't but I don't play the game. I tried so many times, but I just couldn't get around to like downloading and playing it. Because it does take hours of dedication. You can get a scholarship for being a really good player. The show, even though you have no idea what the characters are or who anything is, the show was so well done. Aside from the fact that it's animated, if it was done with real human beings, it would be on the scale of like a Marvel movie. That's how good it was done. The soundtracks, they had Imagine Dragons doing theme songs and everything. It was classy, it was action filled. It was beautiful.
Better than Game of Thrones.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was just each punch you can feel the action on the screen. I was literally sitting on edge and it was amazing. Now purely
And by the way, Rumi, how long are episodes in anime?
Each episode 20 minutes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh,
Wow.
that's short.
Okay, that's like a short film.
One anime, like a normal anime, would be about 22 episodes.
That's nice.
Yeah. Unless you have like those
Which
really...
is why you can't watch Turkish shows, because 20 minutes and 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, you can imagine.
I can do 10 anime episodes in the span of one Turkish episode. But purely anime, I should start off by probably give my regards to... It started in 1999. It's One Piece, and it finally reached 1,000 episodes. I think it's on 1,003.
I've definitely heard of that, but 1,000 episodes?
Yeah, there's a lot of like big
No,
show.
thank you.
Now you can't start it. That's it. No
That's
way.
Like
Yeah, but considering how big it is and how strong the story has gotten, I'm really impressed with the artist, the manga artist. Oda, like he's really wrapping it up really nicely. I hope he lives a long life.
Wait, it's not done yet?
It's not done yet.
Whoa, I've been hearing about it for years.
It should be going, I think we can sense the end, but it's not there yet. So I'm thinking another couple hundred episodes and we might see the end of it. Next one, beautiful art, Kimetsu no Yaiba. If you haven't watched it, absolutely watch it. Beautiful artwork by UFO Table, or UFO Table, however you want to say it. Action, they have a nice blend of CGI. It has demons and killings, if you guys are interested in that. I've seen a lot of demon animes, but this one, no matter what, it can really drive in all the emotions. If an anime can pull out any emotion from its audience, just through animation, I think they've done a tremendous job. And if you like politics, the next anime I would recommend is Tensei Shitara Slime Datta Ken. It's a slime anime. It kind of...
Whoa, slow down, Rumi. Say that again. Say that again.
Tensei Shitara Slime Datta Ken.
I still don't understand.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Are you sure you're a Canadian, an Indian Canadian? Are you sure?
I think my Tamil might help me pronounce things easily.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was hard.
Wow. I'm envious, man. You're learning a whole new language too. That's great.
I mean, I gotta learn something after watching it for this many years. It would be so embarrassing.
Well, we are learning some Turkish. Okay.
True, yeah.
Just give us
I know
some
like
credit.
2 words in Turkish, yeah.
Well, in English, for you English folks, it's the time I got reincarnated as a slime, which kind of started this whole revelation, like a revolution of slime animes that are all garbage.
Slime animes?
Yeah, so it's a slime, like, you know those slime blob?
Yeah.
So in this one, this guy dies in one world, like in our human world. He gets reincarnated into this other monster world as a slime. But this guy, because he has the brain of a human, right? And not a monster,
You're watching slime?
I would be surprised too, but man, the politics in this, I want to live in that world.
Bro, politics in slime.
You would be surprised. That's what shook.
Surprised.
That's what shook me, right? Because he
Okay,
goes.
I'm finished.
If I ever become a monster, I'm a slime. That's it. But he doesn't stay a slime forever. he turns into a human
He
form.
doesn't stay a slime forever. I am just
Someone,
lost.
someone call 911 for Kazel because she's dying.
She's dying. But honestly, if you don't believe me, politics is involved, okay?
Oh
Okay,
my
we
lord.
will try to believe you.
Good lord. Okay.
But yeah, that ends with like my top picks of the animes.
Right. So that was beautiful. I mean, I might actually watch the slime business because that's
I'm
very, very
intrigued.
intriguing. I'm very intrigued now. Yes, I'm gonna
Yeah, I
drag
want
my
to know
brother.
what
I'm
the
gonna have a
slime is.
nice little anime party with slime.
So that was our top picks of the year. It's always good to sit and reflect on what we watched in the last 12 months. You know, something that we watched senselessly, but it tells a little bit about our own taste. Have we changed our taste and so on and so forth. So it'll all be listed in the description below if you want to check it out. If you have any shows that you would like to recommend, then do drop it down in the comments below, and we will surely try to check it out.
Yeah, and I like the point about watching senselessly, Rumi, because oftentimes we're bored and we just flip open our laptops and then we just pick one and then watch. But in the long run, when you're thinking of it retrospectively, there's so much that you can take away as a human being from these shows, because a lot of them are based on social issues, and even if they're not, there's some little thing that you can take away from them. Uh, just wanted to let our audience know as well that we will be taking a little break for the month of January. I hope everyone has great holidays with their family, and we will be seeing each other again, or rather, hearing each other again in February of 2022. So, for Chai Station's first season finale, this has been Gul, Rumi, and Kazel. Till next time.
Cole. Is it Dylan? Not is it Dylan or Cole?
The twins.
This is
One
it
of them.
Dylan Sprouse? Wait, let me just check. This is too bad. Uh,